Hello, beautiful people. My name is Athol. Let's jump into it. Today, I'm answering a question I got through AskAtholAnything at gmail.com. So here we go. I've realized that I'm attaching my self-worth to my husband's actions, specifically when he looks at videos of other women on the internet. I think I am the one with the problem. It hurts my feelings way more than I think it should. I think I lost my self-worth over 30 years ago. I'm pretty sure it stems from my first relationship when I was 15. Do you have tips to stop this? I don't want it to keep affecting my relationship with my husband. Thanks. Okay. So first thing, let's not get sidetracked into the red herring of whatever it is the husband is doing on the internet looking at women. She wants answers for herself and her feelings and her sensitivity. This is the question. I have no way of knowing exactly what the husband looks at. So it's really just about her. And if you are sensitive, that means you're going to react very strongly and overreact to things. It's almost like an emotional allergic reaction. You have a much stronger reaction to things than you really should have. So if something is a 1 or a 2 out of 10 offensive or hurtful or painful, you're reacting like it's a 7 or 8 out of 10. So there may be something the other person is doing wrong, but your response to it is all out of proportion. Okay, so the feelings are real experiences. She is really feeling this. She is really hurt. It is absolutely happening to her. It's not some sort of made up thing. It's not all in her head. She's really experiencing them. But the purpose of the feelings is to be a warning signal that something really bad is happening. So her husband looks at other woman on the internet. She has this enormous reaction and a sense of dread and terror and loneliness and panic that something really bad is going to happen. That, the relationship's somehow going to end. He's going to leave. He's going to cheat, whatever it is. That's the warning the feelings are meant to serve. And because she's given us the sort of low-hanging fruit answer of like, where did they come from? We know it happened when she was 15 years old. Something truly bad happened to her then. So she now has this thing of an enormous reaction serving as the warning signal that the bad things are going to happen, just like they did when she was 15. Except, now that she's 45, and if her husband is basically loyal and he's not going to leave and he's not going to cheat and he's basically a fine guy in every other sense, the bad things, the truly bad things, are not going to happen. So now she has super strong feelings that are real experiences serving as a warning that bad things are going to happen, except bad things are not going to happen. So the feelings are becoming like this false signal. It's serving as a warning for something that isn't happening. It's like having a broken smoke detector that is constantly screaming and wailing that the house is on fire and everyone needs to get out, and the house is not on fire. There's just a little puff of smoke from someone burning toast. So if you can hold that in your head, accept that the feelings are real, that they're serving as warning signals for something that isn't happening. And rather than fixating on the feelings or fighting them or trying to act out on them, just accepting that these are just feelings. Nothing bad is actually happening to you when you're having these feelings. So rather than fighting them, you almost just let them wash over you and don't act on them. Because when you act on them, you just intensify them. When you express them, you just make them stronger. By fighting them, you can make it worse. So you accept that they're real experiences that are giving you a false message, and there's nothing you actually have to do about it. The other thing you can do in addition to this is you can actually talk to your husband about it. And that's not so much a conversation where you're saying you have to stop doing the thing that hurts me, because being hurt is an overreaction. It's more going him to go and saying, I know I have a problem with this. I know I'm really sensitive to this. And I'm doing my best to sort of hold it all together and be calm and not act out about it. I'm just looking for some sort of basic reassurance that the bad things are not going to happen. You're just looking for some sort of reassurance, whether it's what he says, whether it's physical touch, whether it's he does whatever he does. You're just basically looking for some basic reassurance, because the thing that is driving the bus on these feelings is this fear of being rejected, or fear of being unwanted, unloved. So you're basically looking for emotional reassurance that you're not actually going to be rejected, that you are loved, that you are wanted. So those two things together, not fighting the feelings too much, seeing that they're a false message, and talking to him is hopefully going to balance things out some. And slowly over time, this should get a little less intense. The other thing you can do, when you said you had low self-esteem, this is a very theoretically easy fix. It's going to take a little bit of effort. What I want you to do is, when you're having these moments of low self-esteem, or I shouldn't do this or I can't do that, I want you to imagine what you would do if you had good self-esteem, what you would do if you had high self-esteem. And then just go do whatever that thing is and accept that you're just going to feel awkward, freaking out about it, scared, thinking it's going to fail, and just embrace that, the fact that you're going to feel some sort of negative thoughts or freaking out as you go do the high self-esteem thing. It's basically the same as before. The feelings are real experiences, but they're just false messages. So you have this feeling of low self-esteem, but it's a false message. So it has no basis in reality. So when you go do the high self-esteem thing, the fact that you feel like you have low self-esteem doesn't really make much of an impact. And as you consistently do the things that would be high self-esteem things, you slowly but surely feel better about yourself, because you start getting positive feedback. Things are not nearly as bad as you thought they were. When you stand up for yourself, it doesn't all necessarily instantly backfire on you. Actually, people go, yeah, sure, no problem, and things work out just fine. When you call the waiter over to say that the thing that they served you is totally undercooked, you don't get kicked out of the restaurant. They apologize, they take the food away, they come back with the thing you wanted. You don't get bad results when you stand up for yourself, usually. So it's just accepting the feelings are real, but they're not aligned with reality, so do the things that are aligning with reality. The third and final thing that I think you should do is stop identifying yourself so much with that 15-year-old girl who existed 30 years ago. At this point, you're 45. And that girl is almost like a totally separate person from who you are now. As you look back at yourself, try not to be so much blaming yourself for what you did or should have did or could have did or whatever it was. And just look back at her like that's a 15-year-old girl that is somebody else. And just look at what she did and how she acted with just a sense of compassion and empathy for who that kid was then, and just accept and appreciate why they did what they did, because at this point that person is really not who you are now. So if you're still carrying around a sense of anger or shame or frustration or whatever it is about that, just know, time has passed. Every atom in your body has been replaced 4 times over. from the time you were 15 to 45. So in a sense, they're a different person. You have compassion for who they were then and the choices they made. And that is about it. If you want to read a little more about the sensitivity, there's actually a chapter in Nice Card, Mean Card. It's actually one of the longer chapters where I talk about sensitivity. So that might be a little something else to do. Anyway, that is about it. Hope you liked the video, and I will talk to you soon.